I consider myself to be really lucky because I have had my 4 grandparents with me, touchwood, till today. And I have learned so much from each of them. All of them have been really close to us and we have been really attached to them. And it's been a wonderful childhood and it's been a wonderful way of growing up with all 4 of them around. But there's one whom I'm more biased towards, who happens to be my Dadaji. There are a lot of things he's also taught me and something that all grandparents do, but I think in our case, we've been friends before before having a very grandparent-grandchild relationship.
All 4 of my grandparents moved from West Punjab to India during partition, and we grew up hearing about places in what's now Pakistan. Lahore, Sargodha, Gujarat, Sialkot have all featured in their conversations. And Pakistan, or the region that is now Pakistan, has been an ever-present ghost.
When we were children, we were always being fed with stories about Pakistan, Sargodha, and my mother was from Lahore. Her father used to work for the railways, and then she got married and came to Calcutta, of course. But there also we were brought up, told stories of Lahore, what was life like. There were names like, Mall Road, and there was about Lawrence Gardens, there was about Ajaib Ghar, which is the museum, then Kacheri, which was the courts.
Before the partition, when it was decided that they have to leave Pakistan and come to Delhi or come to India, my father's family had to uproot itself. There were like 5 sisters, 2 brothers. But in the month of June, my father got typhoid and he was very, very unwell. But he was a young man of like 6 feet 2 inches height and pretty well built up. And when the riots started, then my grandfather had to carry him on his shoulder and bring him to this side of the continent or the country. Everybody told him that you can't carry such a big boy, so leave him in Pakistan and let him be, let him face whatever fate he has. But my grandfather said no. And when they came and settled in the camps here, so his portion of the food, his milk, his food and fruit, whatever they could gather, was all given to my dad. And my grandfather cut down on his food and fed his son. And a year later, he died. So my father feels that indirectly he is responsible for his death and he's taken it to heart.
So throughout my childhood, Pakistan has been this constant topic of discussion and conversation with Dadaji, for example, and it's been his happy memory as well. And whenever he used to talk about and talks about Pakistan, it's always with the fact that he never got closure because he came for a vacation, never went back, and that need for closure I think really bothered him, and the fact that he always wanted to go to Pakistan and I think properly just say bye to it for that one last time, which he never had the opportunity to, and that's something that he really was missing, looking forward to in life.
In fact, our son, Manav Kapoor, who is now doing a PhD at Princeton in South Asian history, Pakistan always fascinated him. So as luck would have it, he used to tell my father that, Dada, one day I am going to take you back to Pakistan, and my father used to think that it's a pipe dream. So as luck would have it, he participated in some lucky dip in that World Bazaar that happened in, I think, Chanakya.
Ashoka Hotel has this World Bazaar every year. So he had gone with his friends. In fact, he was not going. So his friends told him, no, come along, come along. So he went there, and there was this lucky dip where they were offering tickets from Delhi, America, Delhi, London. They had Delhi, New York. Then they had Delhi Karachi and Delhi Lahore. So when he asked for it, ki like I want Delhi Lahore ticket, I'm opting for that ticket. If I get it, fine. So this is ki like, why do you have to even ask for like Delhi Lahore? Like you got so many other options. He said, no, that's the ticket I'm looking for. And as luck would have it, they announced his name that yes, he has won the 2 tickets to Lahore.
The next question, of course, was who would be the other person who I'd take. So I said I planned to ask my grandparents if either of my grandparents if they'd want to come. I still have 3. I mean, they couldn't argue with that, certainly. And ultimately, it was my paternal grandfather who seemed very keen on going.
As a family, I think it was everyone's dream. But Dada was, I mean, it was incredible the way he jumped at that opportunity that, haan, main to jaunga. And then we all looked at each other and like, acha, theek hai, like, that's good. And then we came home and we decided that we also wanted to experience this entire journey with him. And I think the entire event, and then when we got the visas, we got it I think in a few hours if I'm not wrong. And when the visas came to him, he held his passport, he kept checking the details. He was so happy, and I don't think I've ever seen him that happy. Like that smile of a 5-year-old child who's told that, okay, now you can get your favorite ice cream. It was exactly that expression on a 91-year-old man's face, and it was just so heartwarming to see that expression after so long in life.
If you notice the expressions, people have said that they have never seen Dadaji as happy as he was.
The twinkle in his eyes.
That twinkle in his eyes, that genuine smile from inside.
And then when we were packing our suitcases, he would take out the best of his clothes and say, nahi, you know, wahan pe sardi hogi, I'll take my blazer. And then we were like, you know, maybe it's not going to be that cold and maybe you shouldn't have to take all your woolens. He said, no, you don't know how Lahore is, you know, you don't know how Sargodha is. Sargodha is colder.
And throughout this time, my grandfather was pretty excited about this. But I think on the last night, on the night that the night before we were leaving, he seemed a little, you know, like nervous. And I was trying to, you know, tell him not to expect things to be the same. So I said, you know, Dadaji, matlab, don't think, aap ye mat sochega ki bilkul jaisa tha waisa hai. It's not going to be the same, of course. And of course, you know, cities change and Delhi's changed so much. I'm sure Lahore has changed as well. He was laughing and he was sort of looking at the mirror. And he said, yeah, of course, you know, that's true. Matlab, ye to zahid si baat hai. जब जाने वाला इतना बदल गया है तो शहर भी बदला होगा लाजमी है.
To be very honest, I had this bit of apprehension in me क्योंकि before we left we had read कि भाई वहाँ पे बिंदी लगा के नहीं जाएंगे क्योंकि बिंदी they don't like it and like हमेशा दुपट्टा होना चाहिए. नहीं तो हम लोग यहाँ पे तो trousers में चले गए, बिना दुपट्टे के चले गए. बट आई टोल्ड माई डॉटर ऑल्सो कि नहीं, कोई जीन्स विन्स नहीं होंगी, सूट्स होंगे और सब दुपट्टे और चुन्नी के साथ होंगे. सो व्हेन वी वर एट दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट, तो बाय देन यू नो वी हैड केप्ट आवर दुपट्टास इन द बैग कि जब लाहौर में पहुंचेंगे तब निकाल लेंगे. सो माई सन जस्ट टीज माई डॉटर इन द लाइन कि नाउ यू आर जस्ट गेटिंग योर बोर्डिंग कार्ड, तो बेटर स्टार्ट वेयरिंग योर दुपट्टास, यू विल नॉट मूव अराउंड विदाउट दुपट्टास नाउ. So there was this lady behind us who was a Pakistani. So she said, please don't get scared. It's not that bad in Pakistan. You can roam around without dupattas and don't you dare scare this little girl.
He sat in the flight. Before anything happened, he clasped on his seatbelt and he just like held my hand and he kept sitting कि हम actually जा रहे हैं महक. मैं ट्रेन में आया था but मैं प्लेन में वापस अपने घर जा रहा हूँ. When he sat in the car, he just looked like a very, very different person, a person I had never seen in 24 years of my existence. It was like he was finally home. And then he was asking where the defense was, where the GPO was, all of that. And then when he started seeing those sights is when it all came back to him, because before that, like, we were in a part that had changed a lot, or maybe at that time it wasn't there. So he wasn't still sure as to whether he's in Lahore or whether this is how it's going to be for all of his memories. But as soon as he saw the museum, the GPO, GC college, is when it all just came back, and it was, I mean, that feeling when you have like two people unite after ages, that's exactly how it felt. And I never thought you could have so much attachment to a place where, as a person, I had never been to. But it felt like there was a part of me that always knew Lahore, and it wasn't a foreign land at all. When we'd gone to the Badshai Masjid with Mana's friends, so I was entering, and immediately I started covering my head, because that's what, I mean, in India we conditioned to do. But all these other friends were like, you know, you don't have to cover your head, it's okay. So I looked at Manav, because I'm like, are they joking with me, because I'm not very sure? And he said, no, if they're saying, just follow their lead. So we entered, and they said there's a room there where the Quran is kept. Only there do you have to cover your head and enter. Otherwise, in the complex and in the premises of the Badshai Masjid, you can just walk without your head covered. And coincidentally, the same year, in like after a few months, Mana's Pakistani friend came to visit us, and she wanted to go to Jama Masjid. So at the first step of the Jama Masjid, she hadn't covered her head. And as she started taking the next steps, there were people on the stairs who kept giving her the look, who made her feel that she wasn't doing the right thing and she wasn't wanted there. And she felt really conscious, and she came back. She didn't enter the Jama Masjid. And in the evening when we were discussing this, it felt so awkward that when I was in Pakistan, in Badshai Masjid, nobody made me feel that this was the wrong thing to do, and it was fine for me to not cover my head. But when the same thing happened in India, this became an issue.
Yeah, government Dyal Singh College. They also have the Dyal Singh College here also, near Lodi Road.
Lodi Road.
It's a part of the same but they haven't changed the name there also. And this was Dada's street where he used to sit in the class.
As if someone who didn't study much, he had a lot of courage to sit in the front.
And I thought he was, I thought,
like seriously, I thought he would be a backbencher.
I was also expecting, but I think he must have been a backbencher. He didn't want to tell us that. This is the site we were waiting for a very long time, to see on the signboard that there is Sargodha. That finally the dream which we've heard since we were bachas. Sargodha में ये होता था, हॉकी खेलते थे, ये होता है वो, ये हमने देखा था, हमने लगा कि कुछ हो रहा है.
And I think it's just that when you see Gujarat also like that, like when you see it, it just feels so like cognitively weird, right? You're like, you're in Pakistan because you can see Islamabad, you can see Sargodha, and suddenly there's Gujarat, which like as an Indian you think it's so typically yours.
It's mine.
And you're like, ये यहाँ क्या कर रहा है? My brother and I were very excited and decided to share those pictures on Facebook and Instagram. Then there was one lady who said, मुझे वहाँ की मिट्टी चाहिए सरगोदा की, because सरगोदा की permission नहीं मिलती लोगों को. I just want the मिट्टी because I want to just have it around. So we got her mitti, and till date, like whoever we meet and who ends up being from Sargodha, we keep giving them a part of that mitti, and from this big bag of mitti, it's become like this tiny pouch now. So whenever the story was told, in your head you imagine some place like the normal park for right. But when you actually see that lawn, you have finally a perfect place for that memory. Then you can imagine like a younger Dada playing with people.
वहाँ पे वो दूध में वो अंडे डाल के they used to have.
And जब ये गाड़ी से निकले हैं दादा, तो हमने लगा कि वो पूछते हैं भाई कहाँ गली, इसे आप लोग साइड में जाओ, I know the place, and he went straight like a rocket.
दादा हाथ पकड़ लो प्लीज. कोई नहीं आप हाथ पकड़ लो बस.
कौन गलत दाल? नहीं वैसे पूछ रहे हैं. नहीं वो क्या?
Like the entire mohalla, that entire market, sort of everybody realized that there was someone who was asking for where the municipal taps were, which were where how he was trying to piece together where the house was. And so people sort of asked why, and the entire, like about 20 or 30 people sort of came out and they were like, "Acha, India se aaye hain, Hindustan se aaye hain, apna ghar dhoondne aaye hain." And there was this somewhat elderly gentleman over there who was like, "Acha, wo jo बड़ी हवेली थी, उसमें 1905 लिखा हुआ था। एंड माय ग्रैंडफादर सेड हाँ हाँ वही वाली। तो ही सेड आप ठीक वहां पे तो खड़े हुए हैं। And it was this surreal moment because I was reminded of these lines of Faiz Ahmed Faiz in this poem of his called Mere Dil Mere Musafir, where he says, कि सुराग कोई पाए किसी याद नामा बर का, किसी अजनबी से पूछे जो पता था अपने घर का।
Dada slept on the bed इनके घर में.
We took
Then
a
we took a
picture,
picture of
didn't
him sleeping on that bed, and it said कि 70 years के बाद
मैं सरगोदा
सरगोदा में
या
70 years के बाद यहाँ पे सोया सरगोदा में
अपने घर में.
अपने घर में. And we went to a very nice place, Bundu Khan, and where we had a total feast laid out. So then one thing very interesting happened. Then I thought since they all bachas, I should go first and just quietly went and paid up. So when they asked for the bill and the bill said that this has already been paid. There was a very good thing that happened when they said दादाजी अब हमारे शहर में आके ऐसे नहीं कर सकते. दादाजी smiled and said कि remember ये शहर हमारा तुमसे पहले का है. We realized in this entire trip was that it's just the media, it's just what is happening, but on a person-to-person contact, we are probably felt as comfortable as we are in India. Perhaps a little more comfortable, if I may say that.
Yeah, but then let's be honest about it. Yes, undercurrents are always there. Yes, because we had a lot of these bachas who were looking after us, and it was like a wall around us, and we were made to feel very, very safe. But yes, you could feel the undercurrents. You could feel somebody is keeping an eye on you, who you don't know. But yes, somebody is keeping a check on your movements and everything. And yes, but then the thing is we were lucky enough not to have faced any of those problems actually. Yeah, but I'm sure if we would have gone without the security cover, maybe it would have been a little different, not all the way. Because otherwise I found people were very, very trusting.
We came little earlier than partition. 48 there was a holidays, summer vacations. We went to Calcutta. My elder brother was staying there, working there. So we never got a chance to go back. So only after 48, when the family came, then I came from Calcutta to receive them.
No, 47 is when partition happened.
48.
47. Independence is 47. So, remember Suksham auntie asked for 2 dogs?
2 dogs. My sister and my brother got married recently in 48. So we were going in summer vacations to spend in Calcutta. So my sister-in-law, she asked to bring 2 puppies. They were very fond of it. So 2 Alsatian puppies, we took it from Sargodha to Lahore, Lahore to Calcutta. And in summer days, every station we used to go, get a brick of ice and put those puppies on that.
दादा को कभी पाकिस्तान जाने का मन करता था जब आप वापस आए, मतलब इंडिया शिफ्ट कर रहे थे?
बहुत मन करता था. सोचा भी नहीं था कि जा सकेंगे कि नहीं जा सकेंगे.
आप मिस नहीं करते थे?
हैं?
आप मिस करते होगे ना वो पूरी
बहुत
जिंदगी,
सारा.
वो रास्ते, वो सब.
बट मानव हमेशा कहता था कि दादाजी आपको एक दफ़ा पाकिस्तान लेके जाऊंगा. हाँ जी, वो तो है, हम वतन तो हैं ज़रूर. हाँ ज़रूर. हाँ नहीं, बहुत ही मज़ा आया. हाँ all human beings are the same. So, आप आइए दिल्ली. हाँ 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 chances, please, it will be a pleasure for us to have you there. हाँ जी, हाँ जी, thank you very much. Thank you.
What to do? I'm very special. But I'm the best thing that happened to you after India then. ठीक है, like ये नहीं हो सकता कि पाकिस्तान को सारा credit मिल जाए.
नहीं.
Auntie sending you. It's fine. It's fine, दादा.
कॉलेज से आती थी 3-3 घंटे 4-4 घंटे इधर में आके जो होता था दिन में.
I never thought I can make my dada woman. I used to go to like shop and I used to show him all my clothes and I tell him, ये heels का रंग वैसे ठीक नहीं. I think initially he was like, why am I being subjected to this? Then he actually started giving me ideas. कि अगर ये अच्छा नहीं लग रहा तो इसको ऐसे करना. I was like, wow, who knew? यहाँ हो?
ये कस्टम जब ध्यान की थी.
यूनिफॉर्म.
ये यूनिफॉर्म में.
हैंडसम तो थे. ये तेल लगाते थे? तेल लगाते थे?
लगाते थे. तभी तो इतनी ग्रोथ हुई.
Touching, that's all mine.
We had cinema hall there. Prem Taki, it was started by my uncle. One of my auntie, she went to the picture. And in the picture itself, it started raining.
Yeah.
She got up and said, I'll go back. मेरे तो कपड़े ढीले पड़े हो गए बाहर.
Once I remember when I was a kid, Dada and I were discussing as to if India and Pakistan were not divided, we would also have a solid cricket team. Like imagine Afridi and Sachin Tendulkar, and then like ऐसे वो kingdom ऐसे huge kingdom ऐसे बैठे रहो कि अच्छा the tailor will come, the jeweler will come. I'm like, yeah, I would have led such a lazy life. मुझे कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता जिंदगी में. Thank you दादा. अब मुझे इतना कुछ करना पड़ता है.
Yeah, you can look at the camera, you can do anything.
दादा smile.
Dada is good. I didn't click a profile to go